Today's guest came to America as a teenager from Georgia and lost both her parents shortly after. She channeled that pain into 17 years of corporate success, eventually running over 230 bank locations. But at the peak of her career, she did what everyone called crazy. She walked away from her marriage and her career and moved to Miami with her teenage son to start all over. Now she's building NR Active, embedding the words fearless and relentless directly into the activewear because she believes confidence is something you can literally wear. Through her clothing brand and Born for More coaching, she's proving that real power isn't in the corner office. It's waking up and choosing how you spend your day. This is Natia Ramishvili, the single mom who traded corporate security for entrepreneurial freedom and is teaching women that sometimes being called crazy means you're finally doing something right. This episode is brought to you by the Founders Club, the premier community for founders pursuing excellence in the mind, body, and of course, business. The club is home to over 750 founders who are actively building stronger companies and better lives together. Through curated masterminds, destination retreats, and private events, members gain access to world-class insights, connections, and experiences designed to help them perform at the highest level. So the average founder in the club is doing between $5 and $50 million a year in revenue. So if you're ready to surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurs who push you to grow and excel in every area of life, visit foundersclubofficial.com and apply to become a member today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another Founder to Founder podcast. Today's guest, I think, is going to be beyond inspiring. And I think this story, for anyone that's listening that has made career changes and has really had to make it happen, is going to resonate. Natia, welcome to the Founder to Founder podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I mean, we just had some Celsiuses, so it's gonna be an energetic one. But anyways, I always say peel back the onion, but I'm trying to change my wording into, take us through early days for you. Because I always say, the funnest part is to talk about the entrepreneurial journey, but the realest part that we all connect with is in our youth. Where did this work ethic, where did this ideas of I have to make magic happen come from for you?
Yeah, thank you for asking. And, where it all started was when I was a teenager and I moved here from East Europe. I'm from Georgia. Mm-hmm. And with my parents who worked so hard to create the life that we have right now for me and my brother. And unfortunately, I lost both of my parents. Mm-hmm. And that inspires me, and every pain that I went through in my life, it gave me a purpose to keep going. And I don't ask myself why this is happening to me. I ask myself what is teaching me. And basically, so I moved to New York. I spent last 23 years there. Wow. I built my career in corporate leadership. And my last role, I was responsible for leading over 1,000 employees. And I loved what I did. I had a great career, but I knew that there was more purpose for my journey. And just one day, I'm a single mom, and I woke up and I told my son, who is a teenager now, and he loves Miami. So it's a little bit over a year ago, I told him, hey, we are moving to Miami, and I am starting my brand. And that's how NR Active was born. I was always very passionate when it comes to leadership, wellness, and mindset. And I think it's all connected. And that's how I started my brand.
Wow. That's so inspiring. I want to stick with the early days because, coming from Georgia to America, how old were you?
I was 16.
16. Yeah. And with your parents at the time?
Yes.
So your two parents, you and your brother come at 16. Did you know English at the time? Did you learn it when you were here?
I knew some, but my English was not great. And my first job actually I got at Macy's, and I was like, in the headbanks department. And
Yeah.
I used to, every morning I used to pass by this huge bank, and I would tell myself, and then I got my degree in finance, but I would tell myself one day I'm going to work there. And it was on Herald Square, 34th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward 5 years later, that was one of my 20 locations that I managed.
No way.
And my office was actually overlooking Macy's.
That is so cool.
It was so cool. But to early stages, it was not easy, right? So you go through so much.
Like high school, coming from Georgia, everyone probably has their friend groups already that they've known for years. Like, how was that transition for you, just coming in and like, all right, I got to make this happen for myself?
I think it's being yourself and authentic. Even when I moved here, I left my group of friends, my career, everything that I'm last 23 years in New York. And now I'm here just 1 year, but I made such a great friends. And to your point, just being yourself, and you attract the right people in your circle. So one of the reasons my brand is basically we have Fearless collection and Relentless and Visionary. And fearless doesn't mean that you are not afraid. So I always tell everyone, when you feel fearless, you need to have a courage to go after things. It doesn't mean you are afraid. A lot of times you doubt yourself, but you keep going.
Wow. And, building yourself up in New York, I always find there's a moment in our journey where we realize like things just got very real. And like for myself, it happened around 15 or 16 when, my mom had a business. Like she started a business, I think when I was around 11, 12. A few years went by, the business did really well, which was like the best thing. Cause like we went from 1 car, 7 people to 2 cars, we went from eating out once a year to like once a month. Like these are really big deals. And in like a blink of an eye, she lost her business. And my dad, who was driving a truck, had a stroke. So he couldn't drive the truck anymore. So no income, everything fell apart. And it was like, as a young kid, it was like that moment I so vividly remember when I was like, I got to do something about this. I need to take a step forward in my life. Was there a similar moment for you in your journey where you're like, oh, I gotta really step up here?
Yeah, it was. And I loved your story, and it's so inspiring. And everybody, I think, has something like a breaking moment in their life. And that happened to me actually 5 years ago when I lost my mom due to cancer. And, you never see things coming. You always think that's not going to happen to me. And when that happens to someone that's so close to you, it made me actually reflect and realize that life is so short and I remember I was actually leading one of the big conference calls, and I got the call from NYU Hospital that my mom is there with a brain tumor. And just suddenly my world just like, I felt like ended.
Wow.
And, after a few months, we lost her, and it was very painful. But I think that was a breaking point for me where I've put so much. I built my career. I'm a mom. The time I was married. But what it made me realize that life is so short. I need to really take time to be happy and create my life where every day I wake up and I'm so grateful.
Wow.
And, I got married early. That made me realize that right after my mom died, next month I filed for divorce because I was not happy and fulfilled. And people thought I was crazy, but, it just changed my life. And I'm so grateful now that I was courageous. I took that step. And I always remind people that life is so short. And it's really up to you what you do and how you make things happen.
That's so powerful. Sometimes it's these like catalyst moments that give us perspective.
Yes.
That changes things. And that really it's almost like a fork in the road, and we take a new path. And was it that moment that you realized, I've been building my career so deep in this corporate world, And I want you to share a little bit about that world, because it's, some people say, oh, you're born an entrepreneur. You can become an entrepreneur. I think you can just do whatever you want in this life. Doesn't matter what you're born as or what you develop. But talk to me a little bit about what it was like building your career for so long. I think it was 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then realizing, I'm going to go and do the craziest thing I've probably ever done and become an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was scary, but every time, I mean, you are a founder, you know, like it's not easy to, you know, believe yourself. And you always ask yourself, what if I fail? And I start asking myself, what if I thrive? What if my fucking business, I'm sorry.
No, we swear a lot on this fucking podcast.
What if my business is going to thrive? And I just want to remind everyone, it doesn't matter where you are in life, but every time you take a step to start something new, it's going to be scary. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you trust your intuition. And you just, and sometimes it's so hard. You are going, and now I'm doing a lot of high performance coaching and women coaching for women empowerment. And I always remind my client is like, if you're going through hell, keep going. Why would you want to stop there?
Yeah, why you want to stay in hell?
Exactly. So it's hard. It was not easy, even as a female, building my career in a male dominated, you know, I was in banking and, but every time I was not even sure, I kept showing up and I kept going. So you will never feel 100% ready. You just take action and you just have relentless confidence that things will work out.
Where did you learn this, like, where did you learn to have this level of confidence and courage, and in a way, this level of fearlessness, which I now see how it all layers into the brand, but I'm curious, where did this come from for you? Where did you learn to be this person?
Yeah, I think it came from my life. You know, I was young mom. I was leading the large team, and I was trying to be everything for everyone. And then I realized I can't. And later in life, I realized that I need to. I was the biggest people pleaser. And later in life, I realized I need to please myself. I need to be happy who I am as a person. And I think that gave me a confidence. Action gave me confidence. Usually, when you don't take action, you just stay stuck, right? When you take action, even if you fail, it gives you confidence. So I would say, you know, just the purpose, what I wanted to do, it gave me the confidence that I have right now.
I want to kind of paint the picture for people, the level of risk, because so many times we speak to potential entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, but they have an amazing career. They're making good money. I mean, 17 years in anything. If you're a mechanic or anything, really, for 17 years, you have to be pretty good at it to even last that long. What level of sacrifice, in your opinion, did you make leaving this successful world that you've built to then go and start your first brand?
Yeah. I mean, it's huge, right? I'm a single parent and just using my savings to start this brand.
Wow.
Now I'm raising money, but just using my life savings. And because I believe in this so much, and I believe the value and the purpose, and like, what's my why? I always tell when entrepreneurs, they start their business, what's your why? What's your purpose? And now I have created a community of women that really believe in my brand. And I work closely with women that I coach and I inspire them. So I think it just going all in. And, you know, my boyfriend partner always says, you need to burn the boats. And if you don't, and if you are like, oh, I'm going to have this, I'm going to have my job, both is not going to work. And when you have no other options, you're going all in.
All in. We have a saying that some people hate when I say it, but I say you're either in or in the way.
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, that doesn't feel so good. I'm like, but it's kind of the truth.
Yeah.
Is if you're half in, then everything else will be half or less than half. in response to you because of that energy you put out there. What's up, founder to founder fam? I just want to quickly pause here and thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of this journey. Starting a podcast is no joke, and the fact that hundreds of you listen every single week means the world to us. We want to continue to bring better and different and unique conversations to you to give you the most amount of value. Our only ask is that if you enjoy the pod, to please just share it with a friend, and most importantly, leave a comment, DM us, give us any sort of feedback. This entire production is for you, so if we can make it just 1% better, we will. We love you all. All right, let's get back into the pod. You leave you leave your corporate career behind. You spend so much of your life doing so. You're a single mother. You've lost your mother recently. You leave a relationship that, whether it was good or bad, is always hard to do. It's not easy. And now you're looking straight ahead saying, I have the inspiration to start a brand. And not only am I inspired by it, I'm going to take the step. So walk me through what it was like once you made that decision. What happened right after that when it came to starting this brand, knowing that you're going to live off savings, you're probably going to spend a lot of that money, but you don't care because you believe in the outcome.
Yeah. So that goes back to being fearless. I still have a lot of fear, but I'm so confident that things gonna work out. And it's only been 9 months, and I'm hosting on Saturday another amazing event for 50 plus women for breast cancer awareness. And
wow. Where's
everybody is going to be at Mandarin Hotel.
Beautiful.
And everybody's going to wear my pink outfits. And that's what's on my vision board. And I have another invite in November, 100 women, everybody wearing my activewear. It's just like, I have the vision. And when I put something on my vision board, it's not, I only manifest, I take action. So, and this is just the beginning. I always say it's like there is so much more to come. And I always say, I stay consistent with my routines personally. And I always share with women, number one thing that you need to, when you wake up, you need to prioritize your day. And it doesn't matter, you might have 30 priorities. If everything is a priority, nothing is, right? So write down 3 things that you can actually accomplish that day, and take care of your wellness. And wellness is really connected with the mindset. And before you touch your phone, first 30 minutes is hey, what am I grateful for? You might be having so much problems, but have that mindfulness, what am I grateful for? And I'm going to go in, even if it's a 30-minute workout, right? I'm going to work out. So those are the habits that I created for myself that really help me being grounded and really learn from everyone. I read so much. I connect with like-minded people, as you said, right? Yeah. Really, I read so much, and then I recommend the best books that I learned from. So I think those were the things that I did, and I did so much research, and I wanted to launch the product that was forever chemical free, and that would make every woman, doesn't matter what body type you have, feel confident in your own body. So those were the things that I did.
You mentioned chemical free, and I sold a lot of sheets, a lot of fabric in my life. And there's something there. Talk to me about that. Why is chemical free important when it comes to activewear?
Yeah, I mean, it really connects to the fertility. It's so important. If you look around, everybody right now, and we don't wear activewear only at the gym. We wear activewear everywhere, right?
Especially in Miami.
Exactly.
It's the only thing you can wear. It's so hot outside.
It's a lifestyle. So I spend probably 80% of it. This was maybe 3rd time I'm wearing the blazer.
Dust this one off from the corporate world, yes.
But I'm always in activewear. Yeah. And it also makes me feel confident. I wanted something that makes me feel confident. And that's why every time I would go to the gym, I would take a selfie, and my gym clothes now says Fearless or Visionary. And you're reminding yourself that you are your own superhero.
Amazing.
So yeah, that was important for me.
So when it comes to, I just want to double click into this because I'm I'm personally obsessed with fabrics because when you travel and, we bought millions of yards of all kinds of fabrics from all places in the world. And I would travel to visit these manufacturers before we would buy so much from them. And you really see the process of a fabric. And a fabric goes through so many dyeing processes where at a certain point, you're like, I got to sleep on that. I got to wear that all day. And this new level, which is to me the worst, is I got to sweat in that. Because when you sweat, you open up your pores, you basically open up a portal to bring in what's on your skin and what's in the air. And what do you think specifically, I guess mostly women wear activewear, what do you think women are missing when it comes to the importance of the quality that they're wearing on their body?
I think it's anything that you use in life. It's you need to do some research. You need to do like what's right for you. It took me actually 3 years to find the right supplier because I just don't want to launch something that I was not happy with. I have high expectations for myself and anything that I would do. So I would not launch the product that I would not be happy with and I would not wear. So that was very important for me that, women to make sure that they not only feel confident, but they feel healthy.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
I know you put different phrases and sayings on your product, which I personally love because I so believe in curating your environment and your inputs to really help your mindset. And that can be a vision board, that can be a meditation in the morning. It can just be like not listening to the news when you wake up. There's so many ways to do so, but very few people have forgotten about the one thing everyone does every single day is they put on clothes and they go out into the world.
Yeah.
Where does that come from for you that you used the clothing as a tool to share a message and leave a reminder for everyone that's buying the product?
Yeah. So I started my wellness. I was always very active, but when COVID actually started in New York, everything was closed, and I joined this group workouts at the park. That time it was more safer to do it.
6 feet apart, please. Yes, I remember.
A big shout out. It's called Badass Academy. So I joined Badass and I started working out every day there. And I would wear every activewear that's out there. I'm not going to name names because I'm not promoting those products.
We don't promote
but basically every activewear. And then I was like, you know what? I need something that really speaks to me because every day I went through my body transformation. I told myself I'm going to be in the best shape of my life, and I am. I lost 30 pounds, and I was like, hey, So every day I'm going to take a selfie, and I'm going to see the progress that I'm making. And then when I take a selfie, there is something missing. And then I was like, okay, fearless. Fearless is like something, a reminder, and then visionary and relentless. So right now I have 3 lines that each clothes comes with what really speaks to you. And all my activewear comes in a gift box where it says, your journey starts now and you're powerful. So what a great way to gift someone a gift and reminder, hey, it doesn't matter where you are in life, but you can start your journey now and you're powerful. So that was my mission when I started. And now I'm like, today I'm feeling fearless, so I'm going to wear fearless. And tomorrow I'm visionary. So.
Oh, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's not like necessarily like the style base, but it's like the inspiration, the psychology around the clothes that you're wearing.
Yeah.
That's incredible. You also help a lot of women, and I believe it's through Born for More. Where did that come from for you? The idea of like, okay, I want to inspire people through clothing, but also really inspire people just through spending time with them.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, I've done my leadership role really inspires me is that value that I bring to people. And a lot of women have reached out to me everybody has their beautiful journey through relationship. They were asking me advice about relationship, or they're going through career changes, or they're going through hard times. And, what I really enjoy is when someone is going through struggles and I basically help them. It's like I'm your accountability partner. And the coach, the mindset coach, is really going to help you define clearly what you want, how you're going to get there. So that's born for more. I always thought, first of all, that I was born for more. And, I had this fire inside me that I'm not going to stop. I'm born for more. And that's how I started my coaching program. And it's a 12-week program when I do 101. But I have a community of women right now that are part of it. And I'm going to do more like a group meetings and mastermind. So,
wow.
and I teach women also when it comes to leadership. One of the number one things, I was always very empathetic. And before, when I was in leadership, I thought empathy was equal to weakness. But it's actually the number one for me. It's the biggest, power. When you are empathetic, people will trust you and they will actually do better when they know that you care about them.
It's so powerful. And I think that's something that's really interesting, is very rarely being a CEO entrepreneur and being a single mother and trying to be the best at both of those. Very rarely do they coexist peacefully, because it's very difficult. What sacrifices do you feel like you've made in your life to make both of those work for you?
Yeah. I always say there is no balance. You need to be intentional. And sometimes there is a night that we order in and I tell my son, today I cannot cook because I have so many meetings. And it's just, spending the quality time, being intentional versus juggling everything. I always say you cannot just pretend. And sometimes on social media, you see people pretend that everything is perfect.
Yeah, it's a highlight reel.
Right. It's a highlight reel, right? Yeah. It's a balance, and prioritizing that day your work might come first, and because that's your lifeline and that's what you are doing. And it doesn't mean that my son he's going to be there and we're still going to spend intentional time together, but maybe I will not cook that night. Right. Or, sometimes like I wake up at 2 a.m. and, as a founder, like you have great ideas at night, and I'm having this full blown conversation with my ChatGPT on marketing. And my son is like, I've heard you were talking to. I'm like, it was ChatGPT. But it's like, balance is not really a balance. It's just being intentional with your time.
Wow. Is there something that you've put in place to help you make sure that you are intentional with your time?
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, every morning I wake up, before I touch my phone, like first 30 minutes, I just, what am I grateful for? Every morning I start my morning with moving my body. I go to work out, and then, I love reading. So, and also recommending to women that I coach, like, hey, you are struggling with communication and high conflict people. These are the books that you should read.
What would you recommend as a good read for somebody that is potentially struggling communicating with people of high conflict?
Yeah. So I love this. It's by Bill Eddy, called Beef. It's BIFF.
That's awesome.
On my way driving here, I was actually recording this because I was getting a lot of questions. So like, what would you recommend? It's how to communicate with high conflict people and stay calm and grounded with your purpose. I would definitely recommend that. And another one, which recently I read, by Mel Robbins, Let Them. And it's a great read. And people will be there. They will judge you. They will have opinions. But you do you. You cannot really control everything or everyone. You just focus on yourself.
Which is the only thing you can do in most cases. I want to get a little bit into, the kind of the foundation and things that you may have learned from your parents, because you mentioned that both your parents are no longer with you, but so many of us carry these lessons, and sometimes it's one or two that really define how we kind of go out into the world.
Yeah.
If you can think of one thing that your parents really instilled in you that has served you so well in your life so far, what would it be?
They have always told me that there is nothing I cannot accomplish. And that has been a foundation for me. And I remember I raised my hand. There was a leadership opportunity, and it was to lead 25 locations in Manhattan. And I raised my hand, and I was told that, for this opportunity, you had to have a very good PowerPoint presentation skills. And I always had this self-doubt, like, I have an accent. Am I gonna get this job? And I was told, like, oh no, in this type of role, you need that. Actually, next day I went at NYU, I signed up for business presentation classes. So when I went for the interview, I literally crushed it. And that person asked me, what is one thing that you need in this position, but you don't have? And I was like, you know what? And it was like an 8 people panel interview.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what? I was told that you need to have a very good business presentation skills, but I'm like, what I'm doing about it, I'm actually taking classes at NYU. And later the person asked me to help him with his presentations. But it's like, if you put your mind to anything, there is nothing you cannot achieve. And I remember when I actually got that role and I got the call, I called my mom and I'm like, thank you for really letting me believe that there is nothing I cannot achieve. So it was like so powerful. We're both crying. It was just incredible.
Those moments are so special. It's instilling the unwavering belief that you could do anything.
Yeah.
And so many people I find say that, you can do anything, you can do anything, you can do anything. And there's such a big difference between believing that people can do anything and believing that you can do anything. Because sometimes there's a big difference between everyone else and me.
Yeah.
And that's such an amazing gift that your parents left with you, because it served you so well. And thank you for sharing. I want to double click into leaving finance again, because I'm sure that there was people saying you were crazy.
Totally.
Because I dropped out of school at a young age. And when I dropped out years ago, there was 2 options, okay? It was be a drug dealer, because that's what the dropouts do, at least back then, or run the hot dog stand out on the street. And you have a lot of them in New York, but I'm from Toronto, so we have some of them, but not as many. But same thing. The reason why is you couldn't even work at Walmart without a high school degree at the time. So everyone's like, you're such an idiot, you should have a backup plan. Now, when people drop out, it's cool, right? It's like, oh, what are you up to? Can I invest? But back then it was like this, like, parents wouldn't allow their kids to hang out with me, because it's like, why would I hang out with a kid that doesn't go to school? Now, different story.
Look at yourself.
But for you, leaving a 17-year career of being successful, and on top of that, leaving a relationship, and basically signing up from a visual perspective for a worse life. I'm sure everyone around you was like, you're crazy. Yeah. What's wrong with you? Walk me through what was happening for you in that moment.
It was, and it really, shows you who really supports. And sometimes people will say, oh, I support you, or I support your vision. But then you really see the true colors, who really has your back. But number one thing, you need to have your own back. And I'm like, wow, this is so crazy. Like, people were like, you are out of your mind. What are you doing? Like, why are you even moving? Why are you starting this brand? There are so much activewear out there. Like, there is so much competition. But what my niche is so different, like what I do with coaching and women empowerment, there might be activewear, but now people are looking for mission, community. They want to be part of something bigger than something that what they wear. And, slogan of my brand is wear your strengths. So I was like, you know what? I was so focused on what I wanted, and I am, that's the noise. And when people see that you are actually achieving, and I'm sure you went through that, right? That you started your brand a year ago and you're already like, making some progress, and your brand is growing. Those same people will say, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." But you remember that they judged you 9 months ago. So it's just, for me, it's a motivation. Not everybody's gonna support your vision, but I surround myself with them like-minded people. And I just keep going.
It takes a tremendous amount of power. When my mom kind of lost her business, she had a very popular business. And when she lost it all, the saddest thing for her was actually she lost a lot of her friends. And she realized that they weren't real friends. And I remember like trying to figure out why. I'm like, this people used to come here every day. We used to see them. Like, I used to tell them, like, where are they? I didn't understand as a 13, 14-year-old, like, what's going on? And I remember she said, there's two types of friends. There's the people that want the best for you. And then there's the people that want the best for you, as long as it's not better than them.
So true.
And sometimes the second type of friend is the closest. And it's a very dangerous slope for anyone, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, to spend majority of their time with the person that has limiting beliefs on you because of the way it makes them feel. Because if we are best friends, that means I think I'm equal to you and you think you're equal to me. And if I don't think I can do anything great and you go and do something great, then what that means for me is that I didn't reach my potential.
Right.
And that's the most painful thing for me if I'm not okay with myself. So it's just so important, because it's those moments when you take maximum risk and go against the wave where you actually need your friends the most. And that's when people realize that they're not there for them.
Yeah, because they're not brave, they're not courageous. And when they see that, they're like, how is she so delusional that she thinks it's going to work out, right?
So true.
And instead of asking yourself, what's the worst thing can happen? Ask yourself, like, what's the best thing that can happen? Right? Why would not it work out? And again, if it's not going to work out, you need to have that self-belief that I will figure it out. I'm so talented. I can do other things.
It's so true. What do you think is the hardest lesson you've had to learn leaving corporate and entering this world of building your own brand, essentially by yourself? What is one of the hardest lessons and realizations that hit you and you're like, damn?
I think the hardest lesson is that everybody will, have that like buy-in in the vision that you have, and it's not true. And you're building your brand ground up. And when you're a founder of the brand, you just need to be flexible. You will get a lot of no's, and I think no is another lesson that my mom taught me is that no doesn't mean no. It means not now. And you just keep going. So there was a lot of calls that I had to make for, partnership or sponsorship. And no doesn't mean, okay, so you are not a right partner for me and on this mission. I will find another one. So it's like, no, okay, great. What's next?
That's incredible. It's the idea of perseverance and to keep going regardless, because all you need is sometimes is one yes. Speaking of that, has there been one person on this journey, on this entrepreneurial journey, that has been your catalyst? The reason I say that is because there's always this one person that comes out of nowhere sometimes, and really, maybe without them, you wouldn't be in the position you are today.
Yeah.
Did you have that catalyst in your journey?
Yeah, I do. And I'm so grateful. Like my boyfriend, my partner, who is supporting my vision, and having that person who has that belief in you. I think that's the biggest support that you need. And he always he's an entrepreneur himself. And he always reminds me to, like, I come up the craziest ideas, and he's like, yeah, hell yes, that's amazing. So, I love him, and I love the way he supports me.
I mean, it's so important to just have that, that energy. Really, it's
Yeah.
really an energy that supports the craziness of an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Looking forward into the future of the brand as it continues to grow and continues to be a powerhouse in a very competitive space, but I think a space that's constantly growing. It's like, I
Yes.
want to be in a competitive growing space, not a non-competitive shrinking space.
Yeah.
Like,
Of course.
there's a lot of competition. It's like, that's a good thing. It means there's a lot of opportunities.
I love competition.
Of course, it means I can win, right? Like, I don't want to just play against myself. That's not so fun. And if you look forward for the brand, talk to me about the future of the brand. What is going to look like and feel like in your mind? What is the vision in a perfect world? Who is wearing the product? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does the brand mean in the world for you?
So, like, looking ahead, when it comes to interactive, I want women that wear it, to feel so confident. And it doesn't matter where they are in life. And when they're gifting to each other, it's reminding them that they're powerful. And I see, interactive women wearing interactive everywhere, during the meetings or workouts. But my biggest mission is bringing the community together. And that's what I actually started. And I'm doing my third event. But like, bringing women together, everybody is wearing interactive, feeling confident, feeling powerful, and supporting each other. I mean, I'm so grateful. I was just saying that I'm so grateful that I have like-minded women, that they're not jealous. They're actually, like I always say, empower women, they empower each other. And when I see women is winning, I want to help them. And I just want to create the community and momentum where women are supporting each other, and we are growing together. We are accomplishing things together, and people are wearing interactive more than aloe. That's my goal.
Yeah. I mean, aloe's, I don't know what's going on with their quality. I think it's been getting a little bit worse recently. So there's definitely an opportunity to take some market share, for sure. You've been quoted saying that money doesn't necessarily buy happiness, that it buys choices. Walk me through that, and what that means for you, because I always say it's much easier to be happy with money.
Of course.
But I want to hear your perspective on money, and does it actually buy those choices? Why does it not buy happiness for you?
I would say, when money doesn't buy happiness, and you can be sad and be successful, but what's your purpose? And I think when you have choices, and like, for example, today I planned my day, and I was very I had my purpose. I woke up and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go work out, and I'm gonna go and have this amazing recording, right? It's the options. So having an options, how you spend your day, I think that's the biggest happiness. And whatever you decide to do with your time, right? What brings you joy? And if you have a choice to do that, you create your own happiness. And yes, of course, like, when you have money, you can create experiences, and I love experiences, but it's the choices that you make every day.
It's so powerful. It's very much like, it buys the freedom.
Exactly.
And like freedom, people have fought wars over freedom and have died for freedom. Like, freedom is the one thing as humans that will basically do anything for freedom. And I feel like so many times we optimize our life for the wrong things. Nothing against buying a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. I think those are amazing as long as you have the freedom to do so. And does the Ferrari make you happy? For some people not. But I think the idea that you can spend your life doing what you want is the most incredible thing that money can afford you. And the easiest path to get money, in my opinion, is building assets for yourself, whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's investing your corporate income. There's so many ways to get to that point, but the freedom is important.
It's number one. I think freedom is the happiness. You create your happiness, and you can have Ferrari, but if you have no time to drive it and enjoy it, how are you going to be happy, right?
That's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. If you don't have time, like I told someone yesterday, the last few days I've been playing paddle twice a day.
Yeah, I love that.
And he's like, what are you like? What kind of light? What, you not work? He's like looking at me like I had a third head, you know? He's like, I had two heads coming out. And he's like, and I was like, yeah, like I'll work in the morning, and then I'll play paddle, then I'll work again, then I'll play paddle, then I'll work in the evening. And he's like, but I'm like, but it makes me so happy that I can just do that. And it comes, unfortunately for me, because I don't really come from much after like 7 or 8 years of just absolute torture. But it was all because of this reality that, you know, with more financial freedom comes freedom of life, not happiness, because you can take that any path you want, and sometimes it's not so good. I want to talk a little bit about being a single mother, because, you know, in our community, the Founders Club, we have about 34% women entrepreneurs, which are, it's an incredible stat that we're so proud of. And we have some of the most incredible female entrepreneurs, really. Like, I don't know how we got so lucky to build such an amazing group, but we did. And we do these female founder days where it's actually full day intensives. Last one was in New York, only for the ladies. Not even Ned can go. He's not allowed to shoot it because he's a guy. We have to send somebody else. Only for the ladies. And
love that.
I can't even go, so I don't really know what's going on, but sometimes I get the feedback. And the last feedback that came back was an incredible day. They want to do it again and again and again. We just had a brunch in Toronto for that chapter yesterday. And a big thing that's come out is, you know, as a woman, you have many challenges as it is just being a woman in the world. And many of our ladies, you know, want family, want to prioritize the home, want to also build the biggest and best damn business ever.
Yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard to just do it all. And what another layer that makes it difficult is being a single mother, which many also are experiencing that same reality. What would you say to a potential single mother or a female entrepreneur who is a mother that doesn't feel like they have enough time? What would you say to them when it comes to just prioritizing their life and give them the confidence and the ability to do both?
You know, it's going back to first your child says the reason I left my marriage is I wanted my son to see what a happy, fulfilled relationship looks like. And it starts with that, being intentional, sharing why. Sometimes we don't have choice, right? Some females are widow and they don't have choice, but if you go through hard times, and you said it, it's never easy to be a single mother, and you try to do it all. It's just sharing with your child. And I think it builds the character. It definitely builds a character for women when you're a single mother and you're trying to juggle everything. You have so much pressure. And I always say, even the clients that I coach, is it's okay. Like, it's okay to show your weakness. Every day is not going to be perfect, but being real and sharing your experiences. This is what I'm going through. Are you going through the same thing? And that sometimes you build that connection with the other females. And it's just not every day is going to be perfect, but embracing it. And I think that builds character, that makes you who you are as a person. And you learn from it. As I said, every experience and every challenge that I had, it's not like why, it's how can I learn from this and how can I keep going?
Wow. It's just continuing to persevere regardless of what's in front of you. And I love that mentality because you can apply it to everything. One of the questions that we do at the end of the podcast, it's my favorite question, is, if we were going to bring a younger version of yourself, and you can choose any age, some people say 5 years old or 3 years old, and we were to bring her right here at the front of the table, and you were able to share one message with the younger version of yourself, how old is the younger version of yourself here sitting with us, and what is one message that you would love to share with her?
Yeah. I always get emotional because my younger self, I would first say thank you for believing we were born for more. And even when I was 5 years old, I'm like, I know I'm born for more.
Wow.
And we would probably change 5 different outfits she loved to she loved choose, and I do. So but I would just say thank you for believing we were born for more, and the best is yet to come.
Wow. Is there one thing that we potentially didn't cover, or one message that you want to share with everyone that's listening to this right now?
Yeah, I would just especially for women, because I work so closely with women, just remind them that you are powerful. There will be challenges in life, but to keep going, keep showing up, and you inspire people, not always being perfect, but you inspire people when you are your authentic self and you share your journey.
Wow. Is that like, I want to actually just go one layer into that by sharing their journey. How would you recommend people do that? Through social media and really just be vulnerable with their audience? Like, when you say that, what does that mean?
Yeah, sharing not only highlight reels, and that's what we see all the time, right? But there are a lot of people, including myself, everybody has self-doubts, limited self-beliefs. A lot of times, especially when I was in leadership, my Instagram was closed. I would never share anything. I was only on LinkedIn. And now I have a big community of women that resonate with me, right? And I show my realness, and I would not record real. I was like, oh, how can people understand me? I have an accent. And I'm like, now I'm so proud of my accent, of everything that I bring to the table and the way I inspire people. So, nobody's perfect. Just be yourself. Share not only highlight reels, but who you are, and you will find right people.
It's so true. It's like, it's such a scary thing to put yourself out there into the world. But if you just put who you are out into the world as authentically, as authentically as you can, 'cause it's really hard, you will then attract the right people. What is the best thing that has come from you sharing your message, your truth with the world through social? What is the best thing that's happened to you from doing that?
I get so many messages, and 2 days ago, actually, I got a message from one of my followers, young mother who has 2 kids, and she said, I just started a new career, and please do not stop sharing your journey and your story. It just keeps me going. I know that I don't know everything, but I'm going to figure it out, and you help me, and you help me so much. Please do not stop sharing. And it doesn't matter how much followers you have, as long as you inspire one person. And I always say, even when you work on yourself, as long as you get 1% better every day and you impact one life every day, I feel like that's the biggest purpose for me.
Wow, that's so true. My a good friend and a good member of the club, Gary Lipovetsky, I know his wife actually, Valeria. He always tells me, I remember one time I was like, I got like, I'm only getting like 7 or 8,000 views every time I post. Like, I want to see the 10, and 20. And he's like, have you seen what 7,000 people look like in a room?
Yeah.
He's like, it's like
huge.
It's like a stage. It's massive. Like
Yeah.
7,000 people, like artists, like they perform in front of 3,000. It's like a sold out.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a second. He's like, you just had a full auditorium of people listen to one thing that you decided in your head and posted. And that's real.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, I would speak to one person. If I got one view, I would be happy.
Exactly.
And sometimes that perspective is so important, regardless of how many followers or how many people click and respond. It's the one message of saying, hey, because of you, I now have a belief in myself to go and do something great. And that only took one view.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
And I get these messages every day from women, and I'm just like so inspired that I can add value to other people's lives. And sometimes like I would post and it would get like, 10 views. And I remember when my first reel got 50,000 views and I'm like freaking out. So it's just like, small things that you can add value to other people's lives.
It's amazing. Where should people go and follow you?
They can follow me at NR Active Founder, and my brand is NR Active.
NR Active on.
Yes.
So at NR Active.
Yes.
Right. Natia, you're amazing. Really. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your story. I think what's so important for people and what they're really going to feel listening to this is your truth and your ability to show up authentic and to share just who you are and where you're at on your journey is so powerful. And I'm so excited for the product. I got to get some now for Gabby because she's going to love it. She loves activewear. Oh my God. And I love that you use high quality products. I love that it's a part of who you are as a person. It's infused into the brand. So keep being inspiring. And thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Founder to Founder podcast. And I have one favor, just one favor to ask. It's the only favor I'll ever ask from you. And if you liked what you listened to please like, subscribe, and please just leave a comment. Let us know what you think, how we can make it better. We are all in on delivering value to you. And all we ask in return is that you hit that subscribe. It goes a long way for what we're trying to build here. And as always, we post an episode every single Wednesday. So stay tuned and thank you for tuning in.